Hey guys, it's LukeMan97 and welcome back to another video in World of Warships Blitz. And first of all, before we start the video, I think this video is going to be uploaded on Tuesday. Yeah, and then we're probably going to have a BeamNG Drive video on Tuesday as well if I have the time. If not, then we'll just have the BeamNG Drive video on Thursday along with maybe another World of Warships video. But I just wanted to say the real reason I do more World of Warships videos now than PC games is because it's a lot easier to record these and upload them than PC games, because with PC games I have to put it on a flash drive and take it off my PC so I can upload it on my laptop, and also they take a lot longer to record, and I don't really play PC games as much as I do World of Warships now, and also I just enjoy making World of Warships videos a lot more than PC games videos. So, hope you guys don't mind. I know you guys do enjoy the PC games videos more though, so as far as the views are going, so don't worry, we'll still keep on with those, just not as much probably. Anyways, getting into the video, today we're going to be looking at a Tier 8 battleship that's very debated these days as far as whether it's good or not, and that's the Bismarck. So the Bismarck, as far as the history for it goes, obviously, if you know even a smidgen about naval history in World War II, you should know about this thing, because it was one of two German super battleships designed by the Kriegsmarine, which was Nazi Germany's navy, and the Bismarck and the Tirpitz or Bismarck and Tirpitz, or I don't know how you pronounce it, but anyways, they were designed by the Kriegsmarine. Bismarck was the first to be built, the lead ship of the Bismarck class, but basically, she didn't last very long, because her first and only combat mission was where she engaged the British battlecruiser HMS Hood, which is actually in the game as well. It's a Tier 7 battleship, the Hood is, but basically the Hood didn't have very good deck armor, and the Bismarck had ferocious 15-inch guns. And so one of those shells plunged through the Hood's thin deck armor and exploded in the magazines, which completely detonated and broke the rear half of the ship off, and the Hood sank. And the Hood was also sailing with the HMS Prince of Wales, which is not in the game, but which was a King George V class battleship. So the Prince of Wales basically looked like this. This is the kind of layout the Prince of Wales had, because it was King George V. So it was sailing with the Prince of Wales. So the Prince of Wales attempted to engage the Bismarck a little bit, but it couldn't do it by itself, because also the heavy cruiser Prinz Eugen, which is also in the game right here, Admiral Hipper class heavy cruiser. But anyways, the heavy cruiser Prinz Eugen was also sailing with the Bismarck, which had a decent armament too, so it couldn't take both of them. So, ultimately, the Bismarck kept on sailing, although it was sailing for France to get some repairs, because at that time, Nazi Germany was controlling France, and some of the oil tanks had burst as a result of some damage from Prince of Wales, so they were heading for France for some repairs. And a combination of them being shadowed by Royal Navy cruisers, plus a Catalina flying boat scout plane spotting them, as well as them making radio transmissions to the German high command when they should have been keeping radio silence, that kind of gave them away. And eventually, the carrier Ark Royal sent out, which is also in the game. I know we see a lot of ships here from that history, but the Ark Royal, which looked like this, was also in the game, and it sent out Swordfish torpedo bombers, which were these biplanes here on the back of the Ark Royal, and they got 2 hits, I think, and one of them hit the main armor belt, which was in the center of the ship. I'd say maybe like about there, around the smokestack. They hit it about there, so it didn't do much there because that was the main armor belt. But the other one hit it towards the rear back here and hit it directly in the rudder. So they got a lucky hit on the rudder with the torpedoes dropped from the aircraft, and the ship was in a full turn when it got hit in the rudder to the left. So it was stuck in a turn to the left. So it was forced to either sail in circles or use power to sail straight, but it would have to sail back towards its enemies. So basically, it was dead in the water by now because it couldn't escape. And so eventually a bunch of Royal Navy battleships caught up with it. I know one of them, I think the Prince of Wales was there. The King George V was definitely there. And also the Rodney was there. Now, we don't have the Rodney in game, but the Rodney was a Nelson-class battleship. One of the 2 Nelson-class. So it looked like this. And one of the specialties about the Rodney and the Nelson were that they had 9 16-inch guns. The rest of the Royal Navy ships only had 15-inch or 14-inch. So it had big guns. So this thing, the Rodney, got within really, really close range of the Bismarck and just pounded it with 16-inch shells until it was dead. And then the county-class cruiser, I think it was the Dorsetshire, came in to finish it off with torps. Plus, the Germans scuttled it. So, yeah, that was the end of the Bismarck. But this is basically what a county-class cruiser looked like. But anyways, yeah, so that's how the Bismarck's first and only combat mission went. So, and there's a whole nother story on Tirpitz, but we're not going to talk about that today because we're reviewing Bismarck. So first of all, let's go ahead and compare it to Tirpitz, which we have in the game, and which was its sister ship. As you can see, Bismarck class, both of them. But as far as ship skills, they have the same exact ship skills, except for Tirpitz gets a slightly better secondary overload. Instead of increasing it by 20% for 15 seconds, it increases it by 25% for 20 seconds. Secondary overload too, but they still get the same number of charges for each skill. It's not different. Bismarck actually has a slight health advantage over Tirpitz, but not too much more. Bismarck actually has better acceleration and is slightly more maneuverable, but like I said, not very noticeable probably. The guns are exactly identical, obviously, because they're sister ships. One thing you'll notice about the Tirpitz is it actually gets torpedoes, 2 quad launchers, which the Bismarck does not get torpedoes. Which, that is actually historically accurate, because the Bismarck, if you look it up on Wikipedia, it does not have torpedoes listed in the armaments, whereas the Tirpitz, for some reason, did get 2 quad launchers. Now, I don't know why they would put quad launchers on a battleship, because it's really useful. It can be deceiving, because it's really useful in game to have torpedoes on a battleship if you're like brawling someone at close range, which these things are very good at doing. But in real life, battleships usually fought at like really long ranges with their main guns, so torpedoes would not be very useful on a battleship. Bismarck has a slightly better small caliber AA, also actually a decently better one, and a slightly better surface detection. So all around they're pretty much the same. It's just a few slight differences. Anyways, so yeah, really the only improvement if you get Tirpitz would be the torpedoes. As far as the elite bonus, I don't have it yet, but I would probably recommend getting the secondary gun specialization, because these German ships specialize in secondary combat and brawling, so I'd probably recommend that. As far as camouflage, you can get the historical camo, which gives you ship hit points, main battery firing range, maximum main battery shell dispersion, and torpedo damage reduction. But like I've said before, this is just a ship you're grinding through basically at tier 8. So you might, unless you want to keep it because you really like it, which I don't know why you would, because the thing is that yeah, you're just, especially a tier 8 ship, you're just grinding through. As far as this, sorry about that notification. There is a back from the seabed camouflage, which costs a little bit more. It's like, I don't know, they raised it or whatever. That gives you ship hit points, main battery firing range, large caliber AA damage, secondary battery firing range. So, yeah, you could also get this, but we're just going to be rolling with this for today because it gives you fire and flooding resistance. As far as battle honors, first one, win 15 battles, ship XP money. Cause Citadel damage 45 times, ship XP money, copper. Yeah, and I'll just show these to you, I won't say them. Yeah, typical tech tree ship missions. Also, another interesting fact about the Bismarck in real life was that she actually was one of the first ships to pioneer radar to aim the guns. Now, I know she doesn't get the radar skill. Most ships below tier 9 don't get the radar skill unless it's like a Cleveland or something, or a Brooklyn. But yeah, she was actually one of the first ships to pioneer radar to guide the guns, which it was a big thing because before they just used spotting shells to see if it fell short or went beyond. So radar was a big thing, although I've heard that the concussion of the mighty guns firing would sometimes knock out the radar, which is kind of funny. Anyways, also another thing we want to talk about is at tier 8 there's usually a lot of people grinding through to tier 9 because this is usually where a lot of people get bottlenecked because it takes a while to grind to tier 9. But so is she still a viable option? Because she's begun to get power creeped by things like Atlanticos, and I don't know, there's a bunch of like premium tier 8 battleships that are also entering the market. Atlantico is the main one I think about, and then there's stuff like Kansas's and whatever. So yeah, I'd say she's not as powerful as something like an Atlantico or a Kansas, but she can still get the job done when you need it done. So I would say it's still decent, especially with secondary brawling and also sometimes taking on destroyers if you do it right with the secondaries. As far as supplies, I'd probably recommend obviously improved crew rations because that lowers your reload time on everything. Probably warship hit points maybe. And refined diesel you could do, but it's not like the ship is really fast, so it's not going to add much. So, and AA, both of these are viable options because the AA isn't great like an American ship, but it's decent. So I'm probably just going to go with AA for now because it can shoot down quite a few planes if you do it right. As far as equipment, I don't have any on, but I'd probably recommend for slot 1 the secondary battery mod 2 if you really want to put it on. This is like the special equipment that only German ships get, where it gives you secondary battery firing range, auto firing range, and it reduces the dispersion. So yeah, I'd probably go with that. It's a little bit more expensive than the conventional ones because your traverse speed isn't too bad on the mains, and your reload on the mains is also pretty fast. So I'd probably go with this. Second slot, honestly, probably deck protection mod 1. Either that or Damacon system mod 1, because these German ships tend to want to burn a lot. So either one of these would work pretty good. Slot 3, probably propulsion like I usually do because it just gives you a little bit better speed. Or you could go with torpedo damage reduction if you want to do a full-on tank build. But yeah, I currently have boosters on because I'm grinding for the Friedrich der Gulsen. That's why I wanted to make this video this week on the Bismarck so I could review it before I sell it. Because once I get the Friedrich der Gulsen, I'm going to sell the Bismarck, obviously, because I don't really need it anymore. So I'll be bringing you guys a review on the Friedrich der Gulsen before long because I'm only 40k away from it, which isn't too much. So yeah, get ready for that. But that's why I was doing this. As far as commander skills, first one, obviously, underwater protection expert. Second one, I went with battlefield support to get an extra sonar charge because the Bismarck only has 2. And I actually have used all 3 sonar charges before when I was like fighting destroyers and I wanted to make sure I kept them detected at all times. But if you look at the next ships in the line with the Friedrich der Gulsen and the Große Kurfürst, you'll notice that they both have 3 sonars before the commander skill, which means you're getting 4 sonars. So I'd probably say that it's not the best option probably to use that commander skill. I just got carried away and didn't look at the next ships, and so I was like, wow, this looks like a great one. So I'd probably just recommend Torpedo Alert because you don't really need it for the Friedrich der Gulsen or the Große Kurfürst. I mean, if in an extreme scenario, if you're like brawling destroyers constantly, maybe you'd use all 4, but I don't really think so very often. Slot 3, obviously, Damacon kit cooldown time. You could go with Artillery Maintenance Expert, but yeah. Slot 4, obviously Victorious Charge. Slot 5, you could go with Fire Supremacy to get an extra precise aiming system, but you don't really need another one of those because, like I said, even on the Bismarck, where do we find it? Yeah, down here. she herself has three precise aim, so that would make it 4, and I don't think I'd ever use 4. So just go with survivalist. Slot 6, I went with recon and surveillance, which makes your sonar skill more effective, which is pretty useful on this line. Slot 7, I'm probably going to go with marksman because it gives you a longer precise aiming duration. Slot 8, probably going to go with extinguisher because these things do like to burn. Slot 9, you could go with close quarters combat expert because it reduces your dispersion on the secondary battery, which that is a viable option. But like I said, with secondaries, you're going to be brawling at close range, so it's going to be hard to miss. So probably demo expert I'd go with, but either one of those is a really good option in these ones. Slot 10, obviously compartment maintenance. Slot 11, obviously APCS because the HE is garbage on these German ships unless you're like fighting destroyers. The only time I ever switch the main guns to HE is when I'm fighting destroyers, and that's only rarely, so yeah, obviously APCS. Slot 12, you could go with either Citadel Strike or Horizontal Protection Expert. If you wanted to go for a full-on tank build, like the Core First is kind of a tanking thing, you might go with Horizontal Protection Expert. But if you wanted to go for full-on damage, you could go for Citadel Strike. It's really up to you. Those two are both viable options. So, let's go ahead and get into a battle. I think that's all we need to talk about here for now. By the way, that brings me to talk about, I don't know what review of a ship I'm going to bring you on Thursday. It depends. We'll see. Okay, so we're up against Bismarck, North Carolina, Massachusetts, Ignis Purgatio, Cleveland, Cheborg, and Z-23. Although our team, yeah, so the Ignis Purgatio was one of those battleships introduced in the Warhammer 40K 40K partnership or whatever, which was like a year ago or something. I don't remember, but yeah. We have on our team Atlantico, Bismarck, which is me, Ashitaka, Scharnhorst, Takao, Indianapolis, and Benson. So yeah, the Scharnhorst is decent, but it's more of a battle cruiser, so I don't know if it's going to hold up against all their battleships. But especially at Massachusetts, that thing's got big guns. Okay. I really don't know what an Ignis Purgatio is like. I know on PC, the Ignis Purgatio actually was a Japanese battleship that had, there was like a clone of the Amagi. But I know on here, on mobile, it's a German battleship, so I don't know if it's going to be a clone of Bismarck or what it's going to be. We'll see. Alright guys, come on, we need to capture the center area. So yeah, the main artillery on this is decent. I mean, 15-inch guns. It's not the biggest at tier 8, but it's decent. And then the secondaries obviously are pretty good. Oh my goodness, why did he have to leave the area? Okay, there's our first customer. 9995. Okay, we gotta aim this properly. He's using sonar for some reason. Precise aim. And the nice thing about this is this thing has such a fast reload that you can usually use 2 precise aims. That was very, very disappointing. Only like a half penetration and a bounce. Okay. Might not be able to make use. Yeah, see, I wasn't able to make use of the precise aim because he stopped, and I was going around an island. Okay, let's see if we can kill him here. I didn't get him. The Benson got him with flooding. Okay, well, we need to capture some areas because they have all the areas. Okay, what is an Ignis Purgatio anyways? It looks like, yeah, it kind of looks like a clone of Bismarck, honestly. So, basically a Bismarck, I'd say. At least that's what it looks like to me. Maybe it's a clone of Tirpitz. I mean, it might have torpedoes for all I know. So, yeah, I don't know much about the Purgatio, so I don't know if I really want to brawl it. Because, yeah, but come on, guys. We need to capture some areas if we want to win this. Okay, we have one, but that's not really going to cut it. Can you guys go capture the inner one or something? We have a Benson. I don't know what he's doing. He's over there. I mean, we've already killed one of their ships, but they're already way ahead of us because they have all the areas. Okay, they're torpedoing the Ignis Purgatio, which is good. All right, let's go into this area and let's confront the North Cal and all those others. I think the center area should be clear right now. So the Takao has decent torps and decent guns, but he also has pretty bad armor. So also another thing you'll notice on the Bismarck or German battleships in general is their dispersion kind of sucks. So that might be the precise aim somewhat makes up for it, but it's not like really making up for it. Okay, we need to capture some points. Okay, I got the Ignis Brigade show, so that's good. They're still ahead on points, even though we're ahead on kills because of the areas. Alright, if I can capture the center area right now, that'd be good. Although the Cleveland's starting to HE spam me, and these do like to burn. Chiborg's backing up. Guys, need some help over here. He's from Pocho, no wonder he's good. Okay, let's start opening up at that Z with the secondaries. That was very, not very... Okay, you know what? We're just gonna open up with everything. Ow, that hurt. What was that? I think that was the stupid Massachusetts. Okay, there goes the auto secondary. Obviously, they're not hitting anything, though. Z is stupid and thinks that I fired my mains or something. No. I gotta fire my mains. What is he doing? Okay, good. The Z died. So we don't need to worry. He torpedoed me, though. Back up. Come on. We gotta turn. No, we're gonna take most of those because we weren't able to turn. I should have been running the sonar. That's what I should have been doing. Let's see if we can get that North Cal. He's healing up, though, so I don't know unless we get... No, we only got one hit. Come on. Okay, they're going to have to capture the center because I just got destroyed by the Massachusetts and the Z, so I don't think I can, really. Okay, the Lanchico got him. I just started going forward, though, so hopefully the Massachusetts missed most of his shots. And we're starting to capture the area, so that's good. Yeah, the Massachusetts is dangerous with 9/16 inches. Okay, we have all the areas now, so that's good. I want to get behind that island there, because I really don't want to take another Massa salvo. The Chiborg looks... I'm going to take him. Ugh. Come on. Okay, the Chiborg looks like he's coming back for more. So, yeah, I'm going to try and hide behind this island. I really don't need another Massa salvo in my life. Right now, he's probably going to kill me before I can heal up. Yeah, I'm done. Dang it. Okay, well, we're still ahead on kills by a lot, and we do have all the areas now, so it's looking good, honestly. Yeah, so Massa, Chiborg, and Cleveland. Okay, we've taken out the North Cal, Ignisburg. Okay, we just lost our Lanchico as well. So that's not a very good thing. Indianapolis, I don't think I'd be sitting there in front of a battleship and a cruiser if I were you. You're not going to do much against the Massa. Yep, that's what I thought. That Massachusetts is just going crazy out there. And... looks like our Takao is over there. The Chiborg's almost dead, so that he's going to be dead in a second. With the Ashitaka. Okay, the Scharnhorst gets him. Now it's just the Cleveland and the Massa left. Yeah, that's the thing with the Scharnhorst. He's a battle cruiser. And he's about to try to fight a Massa, which I don't know if that's a good idea. Because he only has 11-inch guns. Okay, well, it's ending anyways. And the Atlantico takes the MVP. As Atlanticos do, they usually take the MVP with how OP they are. Well, we actually have quite a bit more time than I thought, so usually we don't do another battle if we won the first one, but I'm not really in a hurry today too much, so let's just go ahead and do another one. Plus, I need to play this ship a lot anyways during the Friedrich Douglasen. Yeah, just so you know, even after I get the Frederic Stergolsen, it'll be a while before I'll be ready to make a Grosser Korfürst review for you, because you know how long it takes to earn a tier 10 battleship. I mean, I only have one after like 1 year of playing or whatever. Okay. We're up against Saint Zhang, Roma, Colorado, Gneisenau, Mikhail Kutuzov, Cleveland, and Oland. Oh, we have that Massachusetts on our team that went crazy last time. That's good. Looks like we got the Chiborg on our team as well this time. Yeah, that Massachusetts went crazy last time, so I'm glad we have him on our team for a change. Okay, let's head to ACAP. So on our team we have Lexington, Atlantico, Massachusetts, me and a Bismarck, Chiborg, Atlanta, and Mahan. Or Mahan. Yeah, so there's the Atlantico. So yeah, the Saint Zhang, it's the new like premium aircraft carrier, Chinese aircraft carrier that never existed from the Blitz Pass, from the last Blitz Pass, and it's basically a Saipan, but a higher tier Saipan, a tier 8 Saipan, but yeah, so its torpedo bombers, it can literally drop 6 torpedo bombers per squadron, even though it only has 3 planes, because that's 2 torpedoes per plane. I feel bad for whoever's getting... Okay, he just completely missed the Mahan. He wasn't even dropping them correctly. Anyways, yeah, it can drop 6 torpedoes per squadron, even though there's only 3 planes, because it drops 2 per plane. So it's pretty OP, yeah. 12 torpedoes in total. Is actually no one coming for ACAP? Oh, there's the Kutuzov. And the Colorado and the Roma. Okay, I spoke too soon. Do we have anyone? Oh, shoot. We don't have anyone else coming with us. Looks like the Benson might be coming around. Oh, never mind. Everyone is coming to A. As soon as I say that, everyone is here. No, I'm going behind the rocks. I don't need to deal with this right now. But look at my health going down. It's just going down. And already my secondaries are shot off. I'm out of here. Come on, Atlantico, use your OP secondaries. I can't do anything for you. Oh, look, my health is just decreasing. It's not even funny. Well, that just cost us basically half our ship, so, yeah. The Kutuzov is basically kind of a HE spammer, although it does have 2 quintuple launchers of torps, so I don't know what you want to call it, but... Can we launch any... Is it possible to launch projectiles through those holes? I don't think it is, but... Okay, we're just going to go around the edge here and see what we can do against, like, one of them, because I can't take all of them at once. Looks like the Roma's backing up, so we'll start trying to snipe at him. See, with the Bismarck, you don't want to, like, push too much, because if you push too much, then you see what happens if you push into, like, a group of, like, 3 ships. It's not very fun. Yeah, the Roma hits hard, though, so I don't know. The Roma is basically a Vittorio Veneto without smoke that hits a lot harder for some reason, even though they're sister ships, basically. Okay. But see, the main secondaries have such a long range, and of course the same thing is coming for me. That's just perfect. I'm just going to keep... As you can see, look at all the torpedoes. I'm dead. And that's what a Saint Zhang can do. It's literally... Okay, the Colorado died too. It's literally not even my fault, because you see what happens. Like, the Saint Zhang just drops you with a ridiculous amount of torps, and there's literally nothing you can do. Also, the Atlantico is going to die to the Cleveland, I feel like. Yeah, the Atlantico took out the Owen, probably with auto secondaries. Yeah, there comes the... Yeah, it's going to suck if we lose our Atlantico, which we probably are going to lose it, but the Kutuzov is also there, which means, yeah, we're definitely going to lose the Atlantico. Lexington, I think I'd get out of there if I were you. I don't know. Okay, the Lexington's dropping the Cleveland, which that's good. Now the Cleveland's flooding as well. Never mind. Okay, so the Kutuzov kills the Elanchko, but the Elanchko kills the Cleveland. Okay. Looks like we're probably going to win again. Gneisenau also dies. All they got left is Roma and Kutuzov. Oh, and the Saint Zeng has been taken out. Nice. The Kutuzov is going after the carrier. Looks like the Roma is just coming back into ACAP after fighting with me a little bit. So yeah, I don't know what changed, if they like buffed the Bismarck to make it better or buffed the game to make it more fair, because I used to lose in the Bismarck like constantly, and now I win a lot more. So it's interesting. I don't know what they did, if they did something to the ship or to the game, but yeah, I win a lot more now in the Bismarck than I used to. Carrier's dropping the Roma. On fire. Nice. Okay, the Mayhen's coming in to finish him off if nobody else does first. He's just lucky that's not a Vittorio that has SAP, or he'd be dead already. Alright, the Roma is... Oh, never mind. The Roma died even before the Torps got there. The Mayhen's probably pretty pissed about losing that kill, but anyways. He's capping A. The Kutuzov is still going after the carrier. But at this point, we've won, obviously, because the Kutuzov is the last one left. He might kill the Kutuzov. I mean, he might kill the carrier, but... I don't know why it's lagging all of a sudden, but... And the carrier's dead. Looks like the Mayan's coming after the Kutuzov, but the Mayan couldn't take on a Kutuzov even if he wanted to, and the battle's ending, so it doesn't really matter. But, yeah, I win a lot more in the Bismarck now. I don't know what they did to the game, or the Bismarck, but, yeah, I'd say the Bismarck, in conclusion, I'd probably say the Bismarck is a viable option for, it has pretty good main guns, and... See, that annoying noise stopped. It has pretty good main guns, and let's see who takes the MVP. Oh yeah, the Elanchko takes the MVP again. I told you the Elanchkos always take the MVP. Anyways, it has pretty good main guns with 15 inch, so pretty decent for long range snipery, except the dispersion kind of sucks, but with the help of precise aiming, that works. And the secondaries are decent for taking out destroyers and brawling at close range, and the armor isn't really to sneeze at either. The only reason my health was going down so quick there was because I was getting basically lit up by like 3 battleships. So, yeah. So it's a good viable option. So it hasn't gotten worse really. The only thing that's happened is it's gotten power creeped by stuff like Atlanticos and Romas and things like that. But anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode. Hope you enjoyed. We'll be coming probably next week with the Friedrich der Golsen review, because I'll probably have it by then. Anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe.